find the minimum and okay. So I guess we can start by so if a is b is 1, just take n equals 1. I'm actually interested in the case where in general like if just b equals 1 and a is whatever. Well, I'll write a equals a just for emphasis. So if you can go up by a's but only jump down by 1s, you need... This is possible if and only if divides n. Yeah, I'm actually... To me, it's a little... I'm not sure the smallest n is that interesting versus all n, but it's possible. I think there's a chance this will be one of those situations where really what you do is you find all n for which it's possible. But for extraction, you take the smallest one. Is this a plus b minus GCD ab? I would believe that, actually. Yeah, actually, so that's a good point. If GCD AB is greater than 1, then you can divide out. So, whatever. Divide out, because then n has to be a multiple of that GCD. Like, if both the numbers are even, for example, then n has to be even, and then you just divide everything by 2, and it doesn't, nothing happens. So, without loss of generality, I'm only going to consider the case GCD a comma b equals 1. And if b equals 1, then we see the answer is a equals n. Alright, so now let's do one non-trivial case. Let's do a b is like 3 comma 2 and see if the guess that we had is like reasonable. So wait, hang on. Yeah, I agree that I think n equals 4 is best possible. I am curious whether we can characterize all n. I guess because there's a 3 minus 2, you can go up by... up until the last upwards jump, you can go up by... It's the descent that's actually the tricky bit. What is the Elsmo? It's the Elsmo. Don't worry about it. It's how the new moppers, Yeah, I was impressed that someone managed to type that in LaTeX. Aren't ascent and descent symmetric? Oh, yeah. I was just sort of thinking, in my head, I'm looking at examples where A equals B. Or, sorry, A is at least B. So... Okay, Okay, well... Let's start if we think maybe the... So... It looks like we're suspecting an answer of a plus b minus 1, which is plausible. I'm trying to think if I just pick if we think this is the answer, what's the algorithm that gets it? Because if the answer form is this clean, I expect like a reasonably good way to show that it's achievable. And oops. I think that's true actually, because by Bezout lemma. Here, I'll pick some very large numbers so that I can't just eyeball it and I have to actually think about what's going on. So, algorithm for ascent. Maybe we'll even pick numbers. Can I just greedy it? I think I just use greedy. By which I mean, you go up by A if you have space. Otherwise, go down by B. I think it should just work because there's nowhere you can get stuck. Like, because A plus B minus 1 is chosen such that you... Well, okay. I mean, you want to show that you don't run yourself through a circle. But hang on. It's never possible for both moves to be impossible because A plus B minus 1 gives you enough space. Yeah. And if you cycle, yeah, to show terminates. If not, then by Bezout, because they're relatively prime, you hit every residue modulo A. So this is all assuming GCD AB equals 1, because if there's a common factor, modulo AB, but AB is probably bigger than A plus B minus 1. So that does it, because then you hit everything anyways. AB equals, so this is all, we're assuming GCD AB equals 1. This might be identical to Elmo 5, like this year's Elmo 5. Hey, wait a minute. If someone makes that connection, I want to see it. Okay, so because this was like pretty sharp, like it feels like this argument doesn't lose. It's like sharp at the equality case. I'm pretty happy with it, so that increases a lot my confidence that A plus B minus 1 is actually the true answer. And then I need to show can't have n less than A plus B minus 1 where this is possible. And that's a little dicier. I almost want to think if I can do the same procedure again, actually. Like, can I say I have to hit every residue or something? Like, if you... Yeah. So if you go to the top and end up back where you started, then your total net displacement is 0. So you needed at least a descents and at least B ascents, because those are the only ways your linear combinations can work out. So you must hit every residue modulo no, something's wrong. This inequality is too... something's wrong. I'm being bad. Sorry, this part here doesn't work. So... Right, so even though if you hit every residue mod A and you hit every residue mod B, that doesn't mean you hit every residue mod A times B. That's just not true. So this end is bugged and this end is bugged. Okay, so both endings are bugged. I still think the greedy algorithm should work though, and the reason you don't run into a loop, I guess both questions are like, when you run into a loop, what does that mean? Like if you end up back where you started. Is it infinite for sum of the n if A equals B? I don't think so. Like if A equals B, can't you just take n equals A equals B. I agree it's not possible for some n, if that's what you're saying. Every residue mod A, B is enough. Is that true? Like, the thing is, I hit a number from every residue mod A and every residue mod B. But... I was going to do some dumb thing where I said that means you hit every residue mod A, B. I think maybe you need to do something else. Like, if you assume A is at least... Oh, I see. Yeah, so so that will, okay, that'll do it. So once we hit B minus 1 mod A, we win. Is that right? More quickly, minus 1 mod B. Yeah, so it means I visit every number mod A, and once I hit the right one, you're okay. And the descent algorithm I think is the same, because I'm not using anything about... Now, I was going to use A's at least B, but I don't think I need it. And here, if n is too small, then what I do is I say, without loss of generality, A is at least B. And I should be able to find a number where I get stuck. Where the degree... Where when I'm at that number, I can't move. And if my ascent number is larger, the one I get stuck on is n minus A. Is a stuck point. And the only number which is n minus 1 mod A. And hence the answer. Is that right? Alright, I'll split it. Awesome. Okay. So that means we now just have the Croatia and China problem, and I found my stylus, so we can actually do both of one or the other. So, are you gonna post this on AOPS? Eventually. It might take a while, but I try to eventually any solution that we do well on stream, I post. Why can't you descend? Oh, the problem is that you can't descend to get there. It's that you get stuck there. Like when you hit that point, you can't move anywhere. There's no legal moves at all. At max. I think. Well, the reason is that when A is at least B, you hit every residue mod A because B is relatively prime to A, and for you to have net 0, you need to make a lot of moves. Right, like for example, if my moves are 7 and 3, you actually do have to hit every residue mod 7 because when you increment by the -3s, you move through. Is that right? Yeah, if you make at least one B move, which you have to, then you have to make at least 7, and hence I go through all the residues. Yes, the password incident was funny. But there's only one number, which is n minus 1 mod 8. It's this one, and at this point, it's this point on the ladder is a trap. Like when you hit this point, which you must because it's the only one that's that residue class mod A, you cannot escape from it. There's no legal moves at all. I think that's the argument. Does that sound right? How was the sign me problem? So the story was that I couldn't find my stylus, so I was like, either I can have no diagram or I'll use GeoGebra. So I reluctantly went with GeoGebra, and it sort of like destroyed the problem because it told me all the observations that were true. Did I get the correct answer? Eventually. I did. I pulled a 3 halves squared equals 9 halves, so my first answer was wrong. And then a bunch of sad faces appeared in the chat, and I was like, okay, I messed something up, and then I looked again, and then fixed it. You can watch the video later. Yeah. To be fair, I got the A prime, like the isosceles trapezoid idea without using GeoGebra, but I confused myself into thinking that was the condition when it was true regardless of where P was. Alright, cool. Where's DJ Mathman? I don't know if he comes to the stream that often. Is the music on the peaceful one? Yes, this is supposed to be the ambient soundtrack. I guess the current song is not that ambient. Oh, DJ Mathman is watching now. Okay, how can you guys tell? Does it list the online users? Oh, well. Hi David, good to see you. Play a playlist in the background. So the problem is that I can only play... The set of things I can play on stream is very limited for copyright reasons. Like, you more or less have to go find yeah, YouTube is definitely off. Like, just because it's on YouTube doesn't mean that I have authorization to play on the stream.